Hi folks, Chuck here again with another poetry reading. This one I'm rather proud of. It was published last year by Graveside Press in a poetry anthology called Gathered Here Today, which was, as you can probably tell, a poetry anthology about death. Um, I wrote this quite soon after I had my heart attack in 2024, when I didn't know if I was going to survive the subsequent surgery. And it's the only thing I wrote between the heart attack and the surgery. And then, of course, didn't write anything for quite a few months afterwards because, you know, open heart surgery and bypasses really take it out of you. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of, personal life in this. I hope you enjoy it. It's called The Girl with No Eyes. At the urging of my bladder, I shuffle down the hallway past the bedrooms of my children, now empty, touched by dust and rot, past the ageing wonky bookshelves that my opa made by hand, and Pawpaw's ancient school desk that we simply left there and forgot. And despite it being 2 a.m. and all about me darkness, my step is very certain, having trod this path before. I as always only falter as I pass the kitchen entrance, and I sense the little dead girl glaring from beyond the door. I have felt her since I moved here almost 30 years this winter, felt her rage and felt her loathing from the day this house was mine. Early on I wondered whether I was losing all my marbles till I started seeing movements in the corner of my eye. A small and shifting figure in the darkness near the oven, never speaking, only glowering, in the middle of the night, and the waves of hate and anger that flow from her keep me looking anywhere but actually at her, lest my heart stop at the sight. Despite living here for decades and acknowledging the haunting, I have seen her only twice now, just 5 or 6 years past, when one night, too full of Merlot and staggering to the toilet, I thoughtlessly turned, staring, and froze in my tracks, aghast. A small child of maybe 8 or 9, dressed in Victorian clothing, with a long and threadbare nightdress I could see completely through, and she stared back with such venom from dark pits where eyes had once been, opened up her mouth and, shrieking, raised her eyes, and at me flew. She chased me, stumbling, screaming, all the way back up the hallway, crashing from one piece of furniture to the next along the wall. She caught me at my bedroom. I had slammed the door behind me, yet I felt an ice-cold finger brush my back, and then I fell. Pain exploded in my chest as numbness tingled both my arms. Heart attack, I thought, and dialed for the ambos right away. I felt her staring from the darkness of the kitchen as they took me to the hospital that night for an almost week-long stay. Rushed to surgery, they saved me, such a close thing, they opined, though they couldn't understand what had blocked my artery that day. When I finally returned to my dark and brooding home, I could sense her savage glee at having nearly got her way. Since then, my sight has worsened, and if I do not turn my head, I no longer see her moving in my periphery. But despite feeling her hate still burning in the darkened kitchen, my fear has diminished into a sense of inevitability. I am tired all the time now, always weary to the bone, and pain is a constant presence like that of my vengeful foe. Is that twinge inside my breast from where they inserted the stent? Every chest pain leaves me wondering, is this a cardiac event? And I know that one day soonish, whether from a dicky ticker or from making full eye contact with that ghostly little girl, or for far more mundane reasons, someone knocking at the front door, perhaps looking through the mail slot, will see me lying where I fell. And I honestly and truly hope that there will be nothing after. Just to be gone would be preferable to the bleak alternative, to be trapped right here forever in my house, alone but for that single unforgiving spectre who will haunt me evermore. So let death be a release, and let the darkness bring me peace. If I'm offered up a preference, then I'd truly rather die than to walk these rooms eternally, ever fearful of the presence of that grim Victorian phantom, the girl with no eyes.